viewers out there. My name is Heinrich Neetling and welcome to Mathematical Literacy. Guys, in today's lesson, we'll be looking at cost price, selling price, as well as break-even analysis. Now, let's quickly get straight to it. So I'm looking at the first sum that is presented to me. It says here, Bonola makes bags in a spare time. She decided to sell her bags at the Rosebank Sunday market. To rent a store, that means a space, at the market cost her 80 Rand per day. The production cost of a bag is 75 Rand. Bonola wants to sell her bag at 100 Rand each. Okay, so let's look at question 1.1. What is Bonola's cost price per bag? Right, so I'm looking at the cost price, and it says here, the production cost of a bag is 75 Rand. So therefore indicate that her cost price equals 75 Rand. Okay, so I guess that's straightforward. Let's move now to the next question. At question 1.2, what is Bonola's selling price per bag? Right, it says here Bonola wants to sell her bag at 100 Rand each. So therefore, her selling price will be 100 Rand. Guys, while we're at this point in time, I always advise my students to underline, highlight, and circle the important words so that it will help you when answering the questions. As you can see, exactly what I've done just now. All right, let's move on to our next slide. Question 1.3. It says, complete the following table for income and expenses for Bonola's business. Okay, on our right-hand side, we still have all the information given to us. So now, if you look at it, and please note at what's happening with the table. First, I listed the expenses here on top, and thereafter I listed all the income, right? Normally it's other way around. It's important for you to familiarize yourself first before you answer a question. Okay, so looking at the expenses, I have number of bags, so 0, 1, 5, 10, 20. Then I'm looking at the cost in Rand. Then here, W, that's a missing value. So we need to find that value. 155 Rand if one bag is produced. Then I'm looking at X. Again, that's another missing value. So we need to find X or solve for X. And then we are saying that if she manufactures or makes 830 bags, it will cost her 830 to do so. And then for 20 bags, it will be 1,580 Rand. Then we have our income, and that's right here. Again, same. I label it as number of bags. If there's 0 bags, what will it income be? 1 bag, obviously it will be 100 Rand because the selling price is 100 Rand. Then we want to know what will the number of bags be in order for her to have an income of 500 Rand. And then we are saying if she sells 10 bags, she'll have an income of 1,000 Rand. 20 bags, an income of 2,000 Rand. That's just to give you an idea of what the table is all about. Now let's quickly see what we need to answer. Let's start with W. All right, so I'm saying let's calculate the cost if the number of bags, so it's an expense, is 0. Now let's go back to our information. It says to rent a store at the market costs 80 Rand per day. That is an expense. Do we agree? Right? Then also, the production cost of the bag is 75 Rand. But remember now, no bags has been made so far. So we want to know what is the cost, the expense. Remember, she will still have to pay 80 Rand, and I'm going to indicate it here because that is for renting the store. All right. Now I'm moving on to X, the missing value X, and we want to know what will the expense be, right, if she will, for the making of 5 of these bags. Now remember, I'm going to write it here, X, that will be your expense, right? All right, so what will the expense be for selling or making 5 of these bags? So the cost price for the bag to make this bag is 75 Rand. So I'll write it as 75 Rand. How many bags are we referring to? That is 5 of these bags. Plus, and don't forget about this, we still need to add the 80 Rand for the hiring of the store because that forms part of the expenses. I'll say 75 multiply by 5, that will give you 375, and then I'm going to add my 80 Rand. Okay, so therefore, this will be 4 155 rand. Okay, so I'm going to write it down here. And guys, this makes it easier. Should you be asked to do a graph, go and complete the values on the table so that when you have to do the graph, your life just becomes easier. Just to go through this one again, in order to calculate the expense for making 5 bags, first of all, we know the cost of making 1 bag is 75 rand. This time I'm referring to 5 bags, so therefore I'm going to say 75 multiplied by 5. That should give you 325. And then also important, I still have to add the 80 rand. Now, that is for hiring of the store, and that will give you 455 rand in total. So now I'm done with my expenses. Let us quickly look then at the income. So for Y, right? Here, I have to find this value here. So I'm not selling any bags. Here, we can see it is 0. Can we expect to have an income? Definitely no. No. So therefore, Y will be 0 rand. No bags being sold, no money in for Bonolo. Then, if I look at Z, I have to find this value Z now. What am I saying now? Remember, it's inverse operations. No. So, for example, here I said 1 times 100 is 100, but I can also say 100 divided by 100 gives you 1. Same thing is going to apply here. So I'm saying the income is 500 rand. Don't forget, she is selling her bags at 100 rand each. So I want to know, in order for her to get an income of 500 rand, how many bags, number of bags must be sold. So therefore I'm going to take, and I'll do it here for you, I'll say 500 divided by the selling price of 100. So if I do that, cancel two zeros, so that means that will be, that will be not 5 rand, but 5 bags. So therefore, Z is going to be 5. So I'm looking, number of bags will be 5. Guys, I hope that is clear. Let's look at another question. 1.4. Now I'm saying, use the information provided in the table to draw graphs for the cost and the income on the set of X's provided, right? Label your graphs appropriately. So looking at this, I'll start with the expenses, and I'm going to estimate more or less number of bags sold, and here is our money in rand. So the cost, if it does not sell any bag, right? 0 bags, right? What will the cost be? We can see there it will be 80 rand. So I'm going to estimate there. Let me just take this out so that we don't get confused. 80 rand more or less here. I'll plot the first point, right? Then 1 bag will be around about 155. So again, that will be here, 1 bag more or less here, and then 155 will be roughly there. Then for 5 bags, that will be around about, and we say here, 5 bags will cost 455. So yes, 5 bags, 455 will be, and I'm going to estimate again, just below 500. Okay, then for 10 bags, it will be 830. So I'm going to go, that will be 10. Yes, number of bags is 10. And then 830, again, I'm just going to estimate, right, say around about there. And then lastly, for 20 bags, yes, 20 bags, that will be 1,580. So I'm going to estimate again, yes, 1,500. So I'm going to go all the way up, 1,500 is there, and that will be 580. So it's going to be around about there. Okay, so more or less in that range. So after that, I'm going to quickly combine all of these ones. Okay, and it means she can produce more bags. All right, let's then look at our income. So looking at it, 0 sales, 0 income. We agree on that one. Then 1 bag will be more or less 100. Okay, so that will be not really there, but just round about there. Then 5 bags will be 500 rand. That is straightforward. 5 bags, 500. Can you see? So it's where they meet. Okay, intersect. 10 bags will be 1,000. So 10 bags, there's 1,000. And then lastly, 20 bags will be 2,000 rand. So yes, 20 bags, I'll go all the way up. There is 2,000. Right, so therefore I'm going to go now, and I'm going to combine all the dots. I hope that is clear to you. So I drew the graph there. Then the next question, we are saying, what is the point of intersection on this graph called? Remember, this point of intersection we call the break-even point. Right, so that's the break-even point. And here we can clearly see is our break-even point. Then 1.6, how many bags must Bonola sell to start showing a profit? Remember, we are saying that the break-even point should be here, right? And we said it should, it's not there. Can we just correct that mistake? Break-even point is actually here, 4 bags, right? So how many bags must Bonola sell to start showing a profit? So if the break-even point is 4, meaning she must at least sell 5 of the bags to start making a profit. Okay, then we have 1.7, calculate the amount of profit on 18 bags. Show all your calculations, right? Again, we can use the graph, or we can basically use the formula. So if I remember correctly, we are saying, let's first start with the formula, that is profit or loss equals your income minus your expenses. Right, so we are working with 18 bags. And again, guys, I'm going to estimate more or less now. Okay, so let's look at the income. And remember, this will be our expenses graph. This will be our income graph, because this one starts at 0 and 0. Okay, so and there's also labeled here. They can see the key is given to us as well. Okay, so income for 18. So it will be roughly here. We agree 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so if I go all the way up for the income, it will be roughly here. We agree. So can we say that will be around about 1,800 minus, if I look at the expenses, for 18 of these bags, 18, as we said, it's around about here. I go all the way up. Remember till where it meets with the line. Right, so that will be around about 1,000, let's say 400 rand. So if I do this question, 1,800 minus 1,400, that should give you, remember our income is more than our expenses, so that will give us 400 rand. So therefore, we can say that she's making a profit. Okay, guys, let us quickly take a short break. After the break, we will continue with more of these sums. See you soon.